stop right there. If you're about to toss those seeds into soil, you might be making the same mistake that cost me an entire growing season. What I'm about to show you isn't just some typical seed starting advice, this is the stuff nobody talks about until it's too late. Trust me, the next 8 minutes could save you months of frustration and actual money. Hey friends, welcome back to Earthly Gardening. If you're new here, I'm so glad you found us. We're all about growing incredible gardens without emptying your wallet. And to my returning green thumbs, thank you for being here again. You all make this community special. Before we dig in, do me a quick favor: if this video saves you from even one seed starting disaster, smash that like button. It genuinely helps more people discover these tips. And if you haven't subscribed yet, hit that button below because we're dropping budget-friendly garden wisdom every single week that you won't want to miss. Alright, so here's the deal. Most people think seed starting is straightforward: grab some seeds, add water, wait for magic. But then 3 weeks later, you've got leggy seedlings that fall over, or worse, nothing sprouts at all. I've been there, and I've burned through enough seed packets to wallpaper a shed. But once I figured out these 5 unconventional strategies, everything changed. And no, I'm not talking about buying expensive grow lights or fancy equipment. This is different. Point 1, the coffee filter test. Let's start with something that sounds weird but is absolutely brilliant: the coffee filter test. Now, I know what you're thinking. Coffee filters? For seeds? Hear me out. Before you plant a single seed, especially if you're using older packets or seeds you saved from last season, you need to know if they're actually viable. Nothing wastes more time than waiting 2 weeks for seeds that were never going to sprout in the first place. Here's what you do. Grab a cheap coffee filter, dampen it with water not soaking, just moist, and place 10 seeds from your packet on one half. Fold it over, slide it into a plastic bag, and leave it somewhere warm. Check it in 3 to 5 days. If 7 or more seeds sprout, you're golden. 5 to 6. Plant them a bit thicker than normal. Less than 5? Either buy fresh seeds or accept that you'll need to overseed significantly. This simple test has saved me so much heartache. Last year, I almost planted 3 entire trays of tomato seeds that were completely dead. The coffee filter caught it before I wasted soil, space, and weeks of growing time. That's money back in your pocket and food on your table sooner. Point 2, the roughing up ritual. Next up, let's talk about seed scarification, but I'm calling it the roughing up ritual because that's exactly what it is. Some seeds have coats so tough that water just bounces right off. Beans, morning glories, nasturtiums, squash, these guys are built like little fortresses. In nature, they'd get scratched up by rocks, frozen, thawed, maybe even passed through an animal's digestive system. That's how they break down and germinate. You're going to mimic that process, but way less gross. Take a small piece of sandpaper. The cheap stuff from any dollar store works perfectly. Fold it in half with the rough side in, drop your seeds inside, and give them a gentle shake for about 30 seconds. You're not trying to destroy them, just scuff up that outer layer enough to let moisture penetrate. For really stubborn seeds like morning glories, you can even nick them slightly with a nail clipper. Just a tiny cut on the opposite end from where the sprout will emerge. I started doing this 2 seasons ago, and my germination rate on beans jumped from maybe 60% to well over 90%. That's more plants from the same packet, which means more harvest without spending another dime. Point 3, the temperature trick nobody mentions. Here's where most gardeners go wrong, and it's so simple it'll make you mad. Everyone obsesses over air temperature. They'll buy heat mats, adjust thermostats, and worry about cold drafts. But hardly anyone pays attention to soil temperature, and that's actually what matters most. Seeds don't care if your room is 70 degrees if the soil they're sitting in is 55. It's like trying to bake bread in a cold oven, doesn't matter how warm the kitchen is. Here's my budget-friendly solution. Before you plant, check your soil temperature with a basic meat thermometer. Yes, the same one you use for roasting chicken. They cost about $5 and work perfectly. Different seeds have different temperature sweet spots. Tomatoes and peppers love soil around 70 to 80 degrees. Lettuce and spinach? They actually prefer it cooler, around 60 to 65. If you're trying to start everything at the same temperature, you're fighting an uphill battle. Once you know your soil temperature, you can adjust placement. Warmer spots might be on top of your refrigerator or near a water heater. Cooler crops can hang out in that chilly spare room. I also use this genius trick with heating pads, not the fancy seed starting kind, just regular pharmacy heating pads on the lowest setting. Put a towel down first, set your trays on top, and boom. Consistent bottom heat for pennies a day in electricity. Quick pause here. If you're finding this helpful, drop a comment below and tell me which seeds you're starting this season. I love hearing what everyone's growing, and it helps me know what content to create next. And if you haven't liked this video yet, go ahead and do that now. It takes 2 seconds and makes a huge difference. Point 4, the darkness secret. Alright, point 4 is going to flip what you think you know about light. Everyone says seeds need light to germinate, right? Actually, that's only true for some seeds. Many seeds including tomatoes, peppers, beans, and cucumbers actually germinate better in complete darkness. They need light once they sprout, absolutely. But during that initial germination phase, darkness can speed things up significantly. Here's what I do. After planting, I cover my trays with a dark towel or even a piece of cardboard. This keeps them dark and also helps maintain moisture, which is another germination essential. Check daily, and the second you see green poking through, whip off that cover and get them under light immediately. Miss this window, and you'll get those stretched, weak seedlings that topple over. The exceptions? Lettuce, petunias, and a few flowers actually need light to germinate. The seed packet usually tells you, but when in doubt, tiny seeds generally need light, bigger seeds prefer darkness. This one trick cut my tomato germination time from 10 days down to 6. That's 4 extra days of growing time, which in gardening terms, is massive. Point 5, the moisture balance formula. Last one, and this is the mistake that kills more seedlings than anything else: watering. Too much water, your seeds rot. Too little, they dry out and die. Finding that sweet spot feels impossible, but I've got a method that works every single time. Forget watering from the top. That washes seeds around, creates uneven moisture, and invites fungal problems. Instead, bottom watering is your best friend. Set your seed trays in a shallow container of water. I use old baking dishes or even the kitchen sink. Let the soil soak up moisture from below for about 10 to 15 minutes, then remove and let excess drain. The soil should feel like a wrung-out sponge. Moist throughout but not dripping. That's your target. Here's the kicker though. Before seeds sprout, cover your trays with plastic wrap or use a humidity dome. This creates a mini greenhouse effect that keeps moisture locked in. You'll barely need to water at all until germination happens. Once sprouts appear, remove the cover immediately and switch to bottom watering every couple of days, or whenever the top inch of soil starts feeling dry. I also add a tiny pinch of cinnamon to my water occasionally. Sounds crazy, but cinnamon is a natural antifungal. It prevents damping off, that horrible disease where seedlings suddenly collapse and die overnight. Lost way too many seedlings before I learned this trick. So there you have it, friends. 5 game-changing strategies that'll transform your seed starting success: the coffee filter viability test, the roughing up ritual for tough seeds, paying attention to soil temperature instead of just air temperature, using strategic darkness, and mastering the moisture balance with bottom watering. None of this requires expensive equipment. Just a little knowledge and some smart techniques that actually work. If this video helped you, please subscribe to Earthly Gardening if you haven't already. We're building an amazing community of budget-conscious gardeners who love to grow, and I'd love to have you as part of it. Drop a comment telling me your biggest seed starting struggle. I read every single one, and your questions often inspire future videos. And hey, if you want even more detailed gardening content, check out the video popping up on your screen right now. Happy growing, everyone. I'll see you in the next one.